Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is on how I made my baby's first birthday dress, and as you can see, I already folded my fabric into four. I have my front pattern and the back pattern pinned together. Then for the zipper allowance, I marked 2 inches as my zipper allowance, and I had a length of about 6 inches as my total length of the fabric. And I went ahead to take my measurements 2 inches away from the top of my fabric, which you can see. So I went ahead to mark out the chest line, which is about 4 inches. And I just marked 4 inches all across the fabric. After doing that, and then I marked her shoulder to waist measurement, which is 7 inches. I added 1.5 inches as my sewing allowance, which gave me 8.5 inches. I then marked 4.5 inches as her neck width and came down by 1/2 inch on that line. After doing that, I connected the points to the chest line. And for the neck depth, I took 1/2 inch and also connected it to the neck width. Now for her bust circumference, her bust circumference is 22 inches. 22 inches divided by 4 is 5.5 inches. And then I added 1 inch for that intake, an extra 1 inch as my sewing allowance. And I also used that measurement on the waistline. So this is it. And I took the darts 2.5 inches away from the center front. You can take yours at 2 inches, just depending on the size of the baby. Or for mine, I took 2.5 inches. And 3 inches upwards. After that, I went out to cut out the excesses on my pattern. I notched the center front and the center back. After that, I went ahead to cut out my lining piece and also joining my lining piece to the main fabric. Now this is what I have after joining my lining piece to my actual fabric. So I'm just going to explain how I got this. So here I have my actual fabric and I have my lining piece, and I'm just going to join that together, then flip it to the wrong side and top stitch to the side towards the lining. After I'm done top stitching, so this is what I have after top stitching. And after that, just go ahead and sew the zipper area and the armhole, which is that point over there, and also the side. And after doing that, this is what you will have. Your end result will look like this for both the front piece and the back piece. So this is it. This is the front piece and this is the two back pieces. I'm just going to place them together, right side facing right side, and also mark my zipper allowance. I'm just going to use my office pin and just pin that part where I have my zipper allowance. So I'm just going to confirm that I have the right measurements for my zipper allowance. After that, I went ahead to place the front and the back piece together. The right side facing right side. This is it, guys. So just follow the steps and you will achieve this. So guys, after that, I went ahead to join the back piece and the front piece together by 1 inch. If you remember, I took 1 inch as my sewing allowance. So I went ahead to open this up and mark my center front. But before joining your bodice to your flay, make sure you add your sleeve and your fabric bow. So this is what I did here. I added my sleeve, which is about 8 inches, as you can see. Now I'm just going to open this up again and trim off the excesses I have on the waistline. After doing that, you can now go ahead and join your flay to your bodice. First of all, find the center front, which is the midpoint of your bodice. And also find the midpoint of your flay and place them right sides facing right sides. I went ahead to pin this down. After carefully pinning the bodies to the flame, go ahead and flip your dress to the other side and then bring in your lining piece and mark the midpoint. After marking the midpoint, make sure the right side is facing the wrong side of your fabric, and just go ahead and make pleats around the waistline. Just as you see me doing, just make pleats around the waistline. After carefully making your pleats, go ahead and stitch all three together. And also make sure that your lining piece is longer than the hard net. This is to avoid the hard net disturbing the baby. So I'm almost done with this dress, guys. So I picked up another net which is about 30 inches. I marked the midpoint and placed it at the center front and went ahead to make pleats with it, and then took the other end to the center back and also made pleats with it, and using my pin to pin that down. Did the same thing for the other side. Took it to where I have my zipper allowance, which is that point there, and also pinning it down. I'm also going to cut out the excesses I have there, but I'll do that after sewing. So this is what the front looks like. After that, I went ahead to use my hand needle to stitch the net to the bodies. Then used my candle gum to fix my flowers, making sure that the candle gum is just placed on the net alone and not on the fabric. So this is the final look of my baby's gown. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Oh my God.